All right, so I have the equation y equals 2x minus 3. I would call this a composite function with a line and a root function. All right. We know the domain of a root function, square root of x, is 0 to infinity. So I've asked you to find the equation of the tangent line at x equals 6. Recall that you need two things. You need slope and a point. The slope is the instantaneous rate of change at 6. And then we need the point at 6. So the first thing I'm going to do with this, everybody, is I'm going to take 1 second and find the point. You guys agree? We need this. I'm going to do some bad notation. I'm pretty sure the point is 6, 3. I just substituted 6 in, right? So now I know the ordered pair. We don't need a graph. We don't need a graph. We don't need a graph. I'm going to make a graph anyway. We don't need a graph. It is 3/2, right? Positive 3/2 here. All right, and it looks like this, and we know that there is a point here, 6, 3. You guys agree? And I'm asking you for the equation of the tangent line at that point. I want the equation of that line out. All right? So if we do this problem now, I have to find I know the point, it's 6, 3. I need the slope of L, which is the instantaneous rate of change at 0.63. Now, I could do this. So this is the limit as h approaches 0 of f of a plus h minus f of a all over h. Everyone, I suppose I could fill in 6 right now. Does everybody agree? I could, because I'm looking for one value. I never do that. I always want to do terms of variables, and this is no time to change that. On my test, there is time to do that. Putting in the numbers doesn't help much. So here we go. Limit as h goes to 0 of 2 times a plus h minus 3 minus the square root of 2a minus 3, right? All over h. All right. I'm going to have to multiply this thing by its conjugate. All right, which is not as bad as it seems. Your first instinct is this is going to be horrible, but it's not as bad as it seems. So if I'm going to shrink this down so I have some room to write it. And I want to get down here so you guys can see it. So I'm going to 100% get down lower. All right, the conjugate of this is just this stuff again, right, with a plus sign. 2 times a plus h plus 3 plus square root of 2a plus minus 3, not plus 3 there, minus 3. All over the same thing, 2a plus h minus 3 plus 2a minus 3. All right, when I square this out, the denominator stays, right? I can't stress this enough. The denominator is h times stuff. Now, right now, I can't plug 0 in, right? Because I got that stinky little h right here. That has to go bye-bye. When I multiply the conjugates in the top, I get that, right? The square root squared minus the square root squared. All right, if I distribute the 2a plus 2h minus 3 here, then I'll write this, minus 2a plus 3. All I did in the green was distribute the numerator. Now, if you write that as a step, make sure you keep the denominator. But all I'm searching for here is what? The 2a's and the 3's cancel. And then I can write this. I have 2h at the top, but there's an h in the bottom, so I can write this. And here is the big deal. The big deal is this. Can I put 0 in the bottom now? Yes. And when I put 0 in, that goes to 0. And you notice on the bottom I have 2a minus 3 plus the square root of 2a minus 3 plus the square root of 2a minus 3, which last time I checked, and I did the limit here, so I will call this f prime of a, Trent, just like you were saying a second ago. And I'm going to write it this way. But what do you notice about the 2's? They cancel. And we kind of forget all of a sudden, why did we do all this work even? We wanted the slope where? It was a 6? I gotta go entire screen to remember what we were doing. Yeah, I want f prime of 6. So f prime of 6 is 1 over square root of 2 times 6 minus 3. And then, oh, I don't know. I think my graph is really good. Everybody, I got a slope of 1/3. Look at that red line up here. I'm looking up here. Oh my gosh, look at that red line. It's almost perfect, gentlemen and ladies.
I did it right before you messed up today.
Did you get the right answer?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Buck is a good friend. All right, so y minus 3 equals 1/3 x minus 6. Everyone, that is the equation of the tangent line. All right, unless I made a math mistake, I was flying because I want to do a lot of review today. What am I searching for on a test? Personally, I'm going to use a highlighter here. I am looking for these ideas more than answers. I am looking for these ideas more than answers. One, do you understand that you need the point? You know, you understand you got to have the point, right? You understand that to get the slope, you need to do the instantaneous rate of change. If you do the instantaneous rate of change, do you realize on a root function you're going to have to use the conjugate? If you make a math mistake in here, I'm not happy, but this is not a grade killer. At the end, do you have a value that seems to make sense? And everyone, in my class especially, if you get down here and you're running out of time, you write, you know, I know the slope should be closer to, if I, say I got negative 10 here, and I knew I didn't have time to fix it and find my error, I would write a note about the graph that, yeah, I'm pretty sure the slope's less than 1, and I know it's positive, right, from our mother function. But I would not make that a grade killer. And then finally, that you understand point slope form. All right? And those would be the key points on a problem like this. Everyone, you do not have to use this notation for chapter 2 and 1. That is derivative notation, but like Trent said, that saves us a lot of problems. All right? Keep studying. It's good for your soul. It's really